let's get into it. Let's see how it sounds. Right, people, we are live on Requested Live right about now. As always, if you're watching back on YouTube, we will only be reacting to the first 2.5 minutes of this one purely to stop the live stream getting blocked. Hopefully that's fine. Usually with a 3-minute 30 tune, you know everything that's going to happen by the 2-minute 30 mark anyway, so that's why we do it this way around. Out to everyone in the chat right about now. Let's get some fire emojis in the chat if we still have energy. We've got about 15 minutes left, so that's enough time for 2 more reactions. Throw some energy into the chat right about now. Throw a like on the video, throw some energy into the chat. Let's get this one moving for the last 15 minutes or so. Let's go.
Oscar, you're the best.
Look what you did to me. It's a felony, stole my heart away. Mr. Deputy, oh come to my aid. 'Cause I don't know how I got this way. It's in the doom, it's in it's kind of amazing. How you make me feel every day like 10 on my body.
That drum break is so cool. Hearing what is essentially a ballad across the introduction, then rolling into these crazy kind of super syncopated drum solos. Crazy. What a wicked way to kick this one off, man. Again, Simi's voice just hasn't changed. It's still as kind of delicate, still as unique, still as kind of potent in a way, as it always has been, as we're hearing here. Such a cool vocal sound altogether, man. I'm really, really enjoying the sounds of this one. But then I'm a massive Simi fan. I tend to like everything she's done, so this is sounding crazy. Let's go.
I can't deny I'm feeling it. I wanna call you baby. Baby, butterflies. Boy, you give me butterflies.
Quite like this as a video as well. The fact you've kind of got the kind of shot of obviously being in the warehouse, kind of loading up to go on the mission, all that sort of stuff, and then you've got the very simple shot of her in the chair. There's something very pleasing about the way this has been shot. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very cool. Instrumentation wise as well, this one you've got those big kind of sliding emotional string lines in the backdrop. You've then got these very kind of potent drum lines in there as well. Again, very kind of dreamy sort of soundscapes going on, and her vocal just cutting through the middle of it like a knife through butter. Very, very clean arrangement on this one so far. Yeah, I always enjoy reacting to old Simi stuff, man, because it's kind of cool looking at her journey out of order, if you know what I mean, kind of going from this one to that one to this year to that year to this, like floating around in it, because you get to see how versatile she's been over the years.
You be Tiff. In the studio, late Friday, I forgot my lines, remembered your face. Oh, I am a mess, I can't concentrate. Oh, this can't be happening to me. You do me tinny, yeah, you gotta place me. Boy, you make me feel every day like 10 on my body.
Yeah, what's so cool about this? Dominic's just made a really good point in the in the chat, saying notice the almost orchestral feel to it, but also sounds basic, the classical accompaniment. This is exactly it, man. If you were to take those rolling drums out of the procedure with this one, you would have a very kind of classic sounding orchestral ballad. That's what this would sound like. And you'd have like literally some Donny on keys kind of wailing about how much he misses someone. That's what this would sound like if you didn't have Simi's voice on there and those drums. So it's like taking those classic kind of ballad elements, very Western as well, very, very Western in those kind of elements, but throwing those drums on it and taking Simi's vocal and turning it into this winding maze of kind of vocal exploration. It's such a cool way of kind of switching things up, man. Really, really cool. And again, this sound, if I was to hear this now, I'd say this sounds quite what's the word? This would sound quite like refreshing. This would sound quite new. But it came out in 2014? So we're coming up to 9 years on this one. Crazy. Crazy.
I wanna call you baby, baby, butterflies. Boy, you give me butterflies. You be Tiff, and I say you be Tiff, and you know I say you don't steal my house gold. You be Tiff, and I say you be Tiff, oh boy, you get smart. One thing I'm sure about, you be Tiff. You won't try my lover, oh lele. You be like saying a sugar.
you know what I love about this as well? It's just how intense those drums are. Like, it's almost as if they've been played really intensely with, like, slight distortion on each one, like a really kind of natural-sounding distortion, and then just, physically just turned down in the mix. If they were all turned up, like, to a proper level, you would hear, like, all the kind of dissonance and stuff, and all the rattling coming off each and every drum hit. But the fact they're turned down so much in the mix makes them sound just charming, because they've got that natural kind of, almost overdrive on them. So cool, man. And again, I'm sure I've missed 1,000 things in the video, but Simi, timeless, man. I haven't heard a Simi tune on this channel where I've gone, nah. Never heard one. I've never heard a Simi tune on this channel or on the requested live section where I've been like, nah, not interested. Not for me. She always kills it. Which is why I'm so excited for her upcoming album. Dominic Andrews saying orchestral ballad. Bro, you should write a music dictionary. I still class myself as somewhat of an amateur, to be honest with you, man, when it comes to linguistics and kind of terminology. Most of mine comes out of kind of production knowledge more than anything else, and then like a little bit of kind of research here and there. Like it's a vernacular that's been built up over like years of just kind of watching things and kind of absorbing information. Like it's not like I'm not classically trained in any way. I feel you would have to be classically trained to write something like that, but I appreciate the kind words. I try my best to try and at least use like interesting language to describe things. I feel that you have to. Otherwise, it just sounds boring at the end of the day. We'll round this one off here. I could listen to this all day. Dominic saying, do you think she's shouting towards the end? You can just definitely hear like a more aggressive vocal. It definitely does go up in intensity, and obviously when you go up in intensity, you lose that kind of, I suppose, the charm of the delicacy kind of removes itself when you kind of go up in intensity, because you're kind of losing that precision. You're kind of going, your vocal naturally becomes a lot wider. You cover a lot more ground. When you're if you're going very, very sharp, you do tend to cover more ground because you've got more kind of I can't remember the name of the phrase, but essentially you've got more kind of like ghost notes essentially coming out, more sort of just general noise coming out rather than that singular note you're trying to hit because you're going louder. But it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't sound out, so that it doesn't bother me. But you can hear the intensity switch. But yeah, very interesting stuff. This one, Simi with Tiff, definitely a tune that I think is ahead of the time, easily. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one. Out to Faith on the suggestion. Right then, people, we've got one more to get into again. Apologies for a slightly shorter show this week. I would have loved to have stuck around for a bit longer, but unfortunately, obviously, I've got a show to go to. It's not unfortunately for me. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get a big chunk of content for you guys as well. So